What's up, everyone?
Hey, guys.
Mark and Joel here from the Sit Down Podcast. High-fiving the microphones.
Hey, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
We have a special episode this time. Normally, we would sit in our chairs and chat with someone on Zoom, but this time, we went somewhere.
Yes, we mentioned it in the previous episodes how we were going to be going to Skull Creek Studios to do a recording with Leot and Aspen there. Fortunately, we finally got that done. This was recorded beginning of May.
Yep.
As you can see in the episode, we're spaced out. We followed protocol for that time, and we had Prehistoric Productions do the recording for us, so we got to work with them as well. This was so much fun, man. So basically, we went there, hung out with Leot and Aspen in Skull Creek Studios, turned the cameras on, shot the shit, and those guys
whipped up a song.
They made a song. So we go through the process
I shouldn't say whipped up a song. That sounds...
Whipped up a song. Sounds Dutch. Just kidding. I'm kidding, all our Dutch friends out there. Yeah, it was pretty sweet how, like, going through the process of the creation process.
They
right?
showed us basically how they normally produce a demo.
Yeah. So, that being said, that's what's going on in this episode.
Yep.
We had some liquid deaths going around.
Yeah.
I noticed... I'm going to apologize right now because I definitely drop quite a few F-bombs in this episode. So instead of me going every
3
couple
seconds.
minutes, you'll hear fuck.
Because we were pretty excited to be there.
Yeah, it was a good time, man.
This episode, even though we shot it before, but it's still brought to you by M3 is 3D.
Right.
Which is our 3D printed Elon Musk headphone stand. Check out m3is3d.com. Use the discount code MOOSE for a 10% discount on your order. Also, check out funkymooserecords.ca and check out our new merch that I'm wearing. The hats will go on, should be on by now. T-shirts are already on.
You also got like merch for other artists.
Yeah, so we have Weapons, Elephants and Stars, and
Northern
Royals. Speaking of Northern Royals.
Right. So we still have a few of the pre-sale bundles available for the record that we're distributing for them. So if you go to the site, go to funkymooserecords.ca, you'll see it. The banner's right at the top of the page. I'm trying to remember what's all in that bundle. You'll get the vinyl.
A signed record.
So a signed vinyl.
You'll get
toque.
A toque. It's a limited edition toque. There is a sticker in there and a Polaroid that the band took and signed.
Sweet. And that's for the low cost of
$59.95.
Right. So yeah,
or you can go for just the record for $29.95.
$29.95. So the bundle packages, there's only a handful of those left. So get those while they're hot.
It's on gold splattered vinyl.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about it.
Yes.
So I'm hoping to do this again with some other people.
Yeah.
And hopefully Northern Royals again. That'd be dope.
Yep.
Did we talk about Moose Fest again?
Almost.
Okay, we're going to right now. So tickets are still available. We are not sold out yet, but they are going off the shelves. So get your tickets at moosefestsk.ca. $30 for a night.
$29.95.
Yeah, $30 for a night out, you guys. Come on, we've been locked down for over a year, and we have 3 awesome rock bands coming to play in Bellevue, Saskatchewan.
Come on and play.
With some secrets that are going to be happening that night too. So to catch those, come out and enjoy the fun. That being said, enjoy this episode. So hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Sit Down Podcast. As you can see, we're not in our studio. We're on location now. Do you want to tell them where we're at?
Skull Creek Studios in Saskatoon.
All right, right on.
Well, you asked me what...
Yeah, I know. So we have, we're in house here with Prehistoric Productions. Thank you guys for doing all the audio visual for us. And we've got...
Trying to make us look good.
Yeah, right? Showing you guys how terrible we actually are. But we've got Aspen Beveridge and Leot Hanson in house here setting up. This is legit take two, though. We had everything going, and like the power went out for some reason. We don't know what happened there. It must be our dirty Sask power here.
Well, we do, but we're not going to tell.
Yeah. So that was awesome. So yeah, this is, I don't know, fucking exciting, man.
I've been on this. I like this because normally in our studio I have to do all the setup and whatever, make sure that everything works.
Set up this Zoom call.
Well, with the microphones and stuff too. And,
yeah.
But finally I could just show up, sit down, and let everybody else do the work.
I know, I felt like out of place and like bad that I wasn't doing anything, but I wouldn't even know what to do.
We should do this again next week.
Yeah, let's do this more often, for sure. So, I don't even know where, can we introduce who the Prehistoric guys are? So we've got Francois running, are you running the audio and video or just the audio? Just the audio.
He does both. Okay, so he doesn't have a microphone on.
Right on. And we've got Brad and Andrew in house. Brad, you came in a little late there, but you came in with more equipment, right?
I had to bring the equipment.
There you go. So, and then we had lunch with Aspen and Andrew, and I don't know, that was pretty dope up at somewhere else's pub, and that was kind of funny. We have that sign, the Funky Moose sign there.
Yeah, we had to fix it.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I hate to be, I can't remember what I called myself, but I'm going to be annoying or something, I said. And I was like, can we turn, Dick, can we turn the sign on? And then they didn't even know where the remote was to turn the sign on, so that was kind of fun. But we got it going, got those lights flashing for lunch. It was pretty good. How was your food, boys?
Excellent.
Right.
Thank you for picking up the tab, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
That's all Mark.
It was excellent.
Yeah. Nice. So what are you guys, what's going on over there? I see you're at the drums.
I'm tuning some drum skins right now. Pretty boring, but Leot's going to set up his guitar here and his pedals. He's got his old Fender Bassman set up there, a really beautiful vintage amp.
Sir.
Yeah, so we're just kind of getting ready to go.
Mm-hmm. This is pretty dope.
So what's the next step here? Once you're all set up, what's the plan? What are we doing? What are you doing? Because we're just sitting here.
So what we usually do is we kind of get set up, and then we'll kind of sit together and go through an idea, a riff or some lyrics or whatever we have kind of in our back pocket, and then I'll get a session started at the computer, and we'll kind of get the tempo mapped out and get a click track going, and then we'll kind of jam through it a bit, and then we'll start tracking instruments one at a time.
So we'll be seeing the making of.
You'll see it all.
Of a fucking number one.
The birth of a song, perhaps.
Sweet.
Maybe it's gonna be good. Maybe it's bad. Who knows?
Okay, so I do want to ask. So, like, you guys must have some kind of concept going in, right? Like an idea between the two of you, or is it legit just raw? Like you're raw dogging this right now, or?
Sometimes we have an idea. Maybe it's just 10 seconds of an idea, like a riff. Sometimes it's just a song title. Sometimes it's lyrics. But today we did have, I think Leot had a voice note, right?
Voice memos are pretty clutch when it comes to this kind of thing.
Right, so like when an idea comes to you, you just kind of like drop it in your phone kind of thing?
I think it's pretty important to, like, when it does come to you, just try to get it down, even if you're in the middle of nowhere, somehow get it down on your phone.
It's fleeting.
Write it down on a piece of paper, the chord structure, whatever.
It's there and then it's gone.
Yeah, it's fleeting, so try to get that down, and you can kind of just build off that. Whether it's, like Aspen said, just a riff or a simple idea, just a little chord progression, whatever it is. So when you have a riff in your mind and you don't have a guitar on you, but you do have the voice memo. You sing it into your phone. Yeah, you sound insane.
Oh, serious?
Like,
really?
Could be in public and you're like, let me slip away to the bathroom, start singing into your phone. Like an insane person in the bathroom. You know what I mean? They're like, what's wrong with that guy? Like,
that's awesome.
But other musicians understand. They probably get that.
Yeah.
He's in the bathroom using his voice memos.
Yeah, high five.
Laying something down for later. So.
That's why you're kind of apprehensive to show people sometimes, because it's like, this is me making stupid noises with my mouth. It's not actually an instrument.
Yeah.
You know, they might be like, I don't understand. Like that doesn't sound like a great song, but in your head you're like, trust me, it might be.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think a lot of people can relate. Like, I think I heard like Dave Grohl talking about the same thing when he's like talking about whipping out his phone and singing into it. Just anywhere he was, just to get that idea down, right?
Right, and the inspiration can come from anywheres at any time, right? Like 100%. I think I saw, I want to say it was like Trent Reznor talking about the windshield wipers on the vehicle going through the rain, and he was like, and he ended up, that might have been maybe from Closer, the song Closer.
Okay,
maybe.
yeah.
I don't know if that was the song, but it is one of the songs anyway.
Was that off that Netflix show, or Crave show, like Song Exploder?
No, I think it was like an interview on Much Music, like back in the 90s.
Oh,
when
shit.
I saw it. Yeah, I remember that though. Like specifically, he was talking about the windshield wipers. And
now you're on my page.
Where he got where he got the sound from.
We actually have a guest coming on in a few weeks. I don't know the exact dates. Steve Jensen. He just released a song. He's from Vancouver, so the metro station, when you board one of the trains, has that doon doon doon.
Oh, yeah.
The melody.
And he took those three sounds and he made that into Skytrain Girl or something is the song title. So it's
cool, man.
He released that and throughout the whole song. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Sometimes just a little ditty like that.
Exactly.
Just updates the whole Skytrain experience.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Our random like places where we grab inspiration aren't quite as nifty as that. Sometimes we're jamming a demo and we're like, hey, what should we call this song? We don't have any lyrics, we don't have a title, and it's like, what are we drinking?
Liquid Death.
Let's call it Liquid Death. The song is now called Liquid Death. You know, so it's not usually super like intellectual or anything.
Right.
Sometimes it's just like, what do we see?
Yeah.
We named a demo one time Sam the Dog.
Yeah.
Because Leot's dog was just wandering through the studio, and we were like, "Hey, what are we gonna name it? I'm just naming the session. Let's just do it." And it was like Sam the Dog. Okay.
Right.
Lots of working titles.
No doubt. No doubt.
Some of them stick around.
Man, isn't that how like AC/DC got the name AC/DC? Wasn't it off of somebody's sewing machine? Yeah. Right?
Probably,
they're like, we need a band name, and then off of the head of the sewing machine it said AC/DC.
Alternating
current,
direct current, boom, right there.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound very rock and roll when you
well,
when you don't abbreviate it, but it's very rock and roll when you abbreviate it.
Now, right? Hell yeah, man.
Fucking
That's
power.
awesome. So cool.
Yeah.
How did the name League of Wolves come about, you guys?
That's a good question. It
because we don't know.
From a story of like, my dad had a good friend who was a helicopter pilot, and he used to capture wolves for a research project. And he was kind of telling me this story when I was eating breakfast with him one day, and I just thought, that sounds like a really cool thing to name a band after. And, you know, a wolf, like I have affinity for like big predator animals like wolves and bears and
There's
stuff.
a wolf beside you there too, huh?
There's a wolf theme in here a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone kind of just decided it was a really good name. It had a ring to it, so we went with that. So.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And Skull Creek, where did that come from?
That came from, where the studio used to be in Piapot, Saskatchewan.
Yep.
There's a little creek called Skull Creek, and it got its name from a bit of, I don't know if it's mythology or truth, but the chief Piapot, which is what Piapot was named after, apparently when they left and they were kind of pushed out by the NWMP, they left, and when people followed to see where they went, there was a skull on a post, and they named the creek after that. So they called it Skull Creek.
Cool.
There's like no skulls in here though.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, we don't usually show those.
Yeah, I guess they're in the closet.
Don't fuck around. But
so
it's actually, the studio's actually moving after this month, so it's going to take a little bit of a transformation to somewhere else.
Right.
Hopefully it's as cool as this basement is, I guess. But
A new home?
yeah, I'm moving. I'm buying a different place, so we can no longer use this basement, but we'll try to find somewhere that'll be suitable for the Skull Creek studio. So.
Right. And there's probably been, like, how many bands would you say have been in this space and recorded in here?
Like recording or just like partying?
No, recording.
Yes.
Like, yeah, yes.
Shit,
I don't know.
Lots.
Dozens.
Yeah,
A lot.
A lot.
Especially like, even with the whole pandemic and the COVID-19 thing going on.
Yeah.
Aspen was still able to secure lots of bands coming through.
Right.
You know, with the regulations in mind and doing the whole safe.
You know?
Yeah, we were being safe about it, but like 1-2 people at a time, not full bands. But
well, that's why we had to. This was scheduled like a couple months ago.
That's
and we
right.
had to push it back to today because of that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I get it.
I've been doing more than I'd even like to, like more remote stuff, I guess. So it's like they'd record and send their stuff to me, and then I'd work on it, send it back to them. Have one guy in a band of like 3 or 4 come and do their parts one at a time. Like it's not ideal, but as long as I can keep going and they can keep recording, that's what I'm trying to do, right? So,
Right.
But then you have to work around things like, because usually they don't have a home studio or anything, so they're probably just in a bedroom or whatever.
Right.
So then the sound is going to be different for each person.
Yeah.
And then it's up to you to make it sound like it's one song.
I try my best, yeah. Yeah, and there's been a couple like people I've worked with also from out of province that haven't been able to come yet, so I'm kind of postponing a bunch of stuff too.
Right.
But we'll get to it.
Right. And then our laws, I think, have just recently. How long ago did they change?
Well,
Where it went to like 2 and 2.
It's in
like we were talking about that earlier. When did that come into play? Like last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, no, it was like the very end of May. So
it's a whole process until the end of July or whatever, right? It's a 3-step
it's like
program.
a 3-step thing. I think on June 20th, and they kind of opened up, like for my bar, the Capital, I think we can have 150 people in there, or 30% capacity, whichever is greater.
Right.
So we've been running on like 30 people in my bar for the last year and
Fuck, that's gotta be tough, man. You're just like riding that line, hey?
It's like, sweet, what band wants to come in and, get paid for 30 tickets at $10? Like, I mean, it's not even worth it to have shows, really.
Right.
It's just frustrating for everybody. But I think it's like, also take the time to like realize that it is a serious thing and just kind of try to come back in the right way. And so this doesn't happen another fucking 6 months or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So,
I think we're doing hella good in Saskatchewan here. Like we were talking to, was it Chasing Records?
Hella good.
Yeah.
Hella good.
You never heard of that, or what?
I did, but you never. Anyway.
Well, I almost said hell good, and that wouldn't have fit right. So I said hella.
Just keeping up with
sounded good, and then he's got to fucking go and put a pin in that, right? Yeah. But Chasing Records out of Toronto. No, they were out of Toronto, right?
Yes.
I didn't realize how fucking locked down Toronto was.
Oh yeah.
Because he was like, his light bulb was like burnt out, and he's like, "Do you realize how fucking hard it is to get a light bulb?" And I'm like, "Just go to Walmart and get one." And he's like, "No, dude, like Walmart's fucking closed."
Yeah. And Walmart
like,
only
everything. I'm just
has
like,
the necessities
shit.
lines open.
In my own little bubble here in small town Saskatchewan, right? Like,
yeah,
fuck.
like.
Do you guys even notice out in Bellevue?
Not at all.
No.
Is there
not at all.
Yeah, actually, the school was closed last week. There was a handful of COVID cases,
but other than that, you probably don't even notice.
No.
So yeah, my kid's in kindergarten. So he did the online schooling thing, half an hour a day. We fucking packed up and went to the lake for 2 weeks, man. Like
perfect,
awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Open the computer in the morning for half an hour and go on the beach for the rest of the day. I'm fucking burnt. Like look at this. Look at how red I am, man. Like fucking bad, dude.
Lobster style.
I know. I got some aloe
Please cut
vera.
that out. We don't want to lose.
And my white legs.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know why. Like, when did we do the podcast with you guys last time with Legal Wars?
We were trying to figure that out.
Was that before COVID? Like,
no.
It was during COVID, wasn't it?
Because you guys got back together after
a very long stretch.
The episode that we did with you guys, you had said that was the first time you guys were all together in like 9 months.
That's true.
9 or something.
Maybe
you said.
It was longer than that. Some of us had seen each other, of course, like me and Leot, but I think all 5 for sure was close to a year. It was 9 months. Yeah.
My point. Yeah. What was my point? Oh yeah, my point was how long ago it was, but also that like when it first happened, it's like one of you guys mentioned how like Walmart is closed in Toronto and stuff like that. So it's like why wasn't that like one of the first places to close?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's
agreed. Because
is that an essential place? No. Do you need a greeter at the door? Like I don't get why some of those places weren't closed that are pulling in like maybe like 7,000 people through a day. Like so why? Yes, grocery stores, of course, that's essential. But like, was Walmart able to get away with that just because they kind of were selling a little bit of groceries in there?
Right.
And a little bit like who actually goes to Walmart for fucking groceries?
Right.
Like
who,
not me really.
How did
usually.
they bend that, twist the rule to stay open?
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah, for sure.
So I just don't know why some of those establishments were open as opposed to like and then like my bar. Oh, you gotta close. Like like fucking. You can't have people drinking alcohol next to each other, but you can have fucking people buying cutlery and
Yeah.
shower fucking curtains next to each
Yeah,
other. I
and
guess all day.
straw hats or whatever to fucking
like whatever you need.
What's
that
that?
fucking
That
9 o'clock at night.
And
It's a necessity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's I don't think that was handled very well. It just didn't make any sense. That's big corporate shit, I guess, for you, right?
And then you got was it Australia? Like they legit locked down for like the first
New
2
Zealand.
weeks, and then fucking it was over and done with.
New Zealand, I think.
New
But
Zealand,
whatever.
right
Yeah.
out of the gate.
Which is what we should have done. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like a real.
But that's always hindsight,
We
right?
might not be. It would have been a lot faster coming back.
Yep.
To reality.
Yeah.
I think if we
The
would have
other
just
thing is, even if it was
cut shut
proposed,
down.
would people have done it? Would have they followed the guidelines, restrictions?
I don't know. That's.
I don't know. Let's stop talking about
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, we're here. We're now. It's now.
Yeah,
Let's try to record a tune maybe.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
love
guys
it.
think? I don't
I
know.
fucking love it.
I'm on
Try
it.
to do something that we've kind of got together. So
Sweet.
see what happens. Cool.
Yes.
Let's pretend it's the bridge coming up. Yeah, see, that's the part. Are you gonna do a solo in the bridge though? That's what you're gonna do, right?
Yeah, something like that. So I think the whole idea is just to kind of get the experience of this, like just how me and him work together. So
Fuck yeah.
like I think I don't know, did you guys get any of that or?
Yeah, are we rolling? We go? Good. Right on.
Yeah, so-
Seriously, bro? Yeah, there's usually like a lot of this, and then I'll get a beat going, and then I'll record the bass, and then usually he does like a rhythm guitar part, and then I'll do the drums, and then he'll kind of sprinkle more guitar on top, and then the vocals last.
Right. So then, but when you're doing this though,
Yeah.
is there a room full of people, or is it just the two of you?
Depends.
Usually- Well,
Sometimes it's just
sometimes
us.
there is
Sometimes there's
people
like 8
around.
people watching.
sometimes there's like my friends being
Having
Just
fucking.
hanging out. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes my friends we've like had a fire outside and we're like all crammed in here and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like drinking over there and we're
Right.
like trying to write a song over here.
Yep.
And we get
While there's a party going on over here.
yeah,
How
so-
does that affect the writing? Like,
Yeah.
I think it just makes it kind of more fun in a way.
It makes
You know?
it, you get your drunk buddy flying in
Yeah.
every now and then. Let me fucking try the vocals a little bit here. I know what's going on.
It makes for some great gang vocals when we
It
need
does,
them,
yeah.
You know?
Except it's hard to like keep them in order.
Yeah.
Some of those guys like
Yeah, true.
it's like, hey, we're starting on the 1, and they're starting on the 3.
So for like demos and stuff, of course, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's just a fun process. So, but if we were recording something where we needed like silence and a little more order, we'd probably just do it with a couple of us in the room or whatever. So.
So verse. Sound pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like? I know you're just making this now. Is there some kind of like lyrics in your head?
Yeah, like last night.
When you're playing that,
Yeah.
what are you thinking about? Like,
Like I don't know, like the relationship between like melodies and the lyrics sometimes coincide, sometimes they don't,
Yeah.
sometimes you come up with them later. Like for me, when I'm like writing when a melody comes to me, there's already some other melody joining it in my head for the like a
Yeah.
vocal line or
Yeah.
a lyric. even if it's just the vocal line is just another melody, that's a cool melody. You just get that down tune, and as you start to unravel the song per se, then sometimes an idea will pop into your head about how the tones make you feel, or maybe it reminds you of something from back home, or a certain experience, or a girlfriend, or an ex-girlfriend, or whatever it may be. So then you kind of start to build those lyrics in a way like I don't know.
Sometimes
that's kind of.
And sometimes you start that way, and then halfway through you're like, that's not this song at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It just doesn't sound like that at all.
That happens a lot.
And then it takes this left turn.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of we don't have rigid plans usually because sometimes you just gotta let it.
That's the best though.
Yeah, let it evolve.
Yeah, like I think a lot of the biggest thing about working with Aspen is like he's always challenging me, and I'm kind of doing the same to him. So it's like I'll come with something I'm like nut bolt. This is the way this is gonna go, and like he just completely. I'm like that's a better idea, and it works way better for this. Like what I mean. So and then sometimes he'll have something like, what if we did this? What if we went here? So I think you need somebody that's kind of out of the box, challenging you as you're putting the song together, which is pretty important. I like it more me and him one-on-one, as in if you get a whole the whole band or a whole group of people in there, it's kind of like too many cooks in the kitchen sometimes.
Yeah,
so
everybody
it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, I think it should be more punk rock. Like, no, this is a freaking mellow fucking song about my dog dying. So, you know what I mean?
We gotta make that a punk song.
Could be a punk song as well.
Okay, I'm gonna try and throw a bass line down.
Okay, you throw a bass line down.
Might have a copyright infringement on your hand.
No, because it changes. It's completely different.
I know what you're saying. No, there's a bit of a rhythm there. That's exactly.
Yeah.
I like the sample beat at the end. It's so good.
Nice.
Holy fuck.
Yeah,
That about
that's
sums
my
that up,
sentiment,
you guys. I've never been able to see it like that, except for like when Wolf NFG was doing or Exomerta, I guess. One of the two was doing that thing on Instagram, you remember?
Yep.
And I sent you that blast. I thought that was the coolest fucking thing. So what they were doing was like creating a song, right, on Instagram Live. And then he was like taking like just information from people that were in the chat and like, oh, should I put like a hi-hat here or whatever, or how many beats per minute and stuff like that. I thought that was the coolest thing. So I tagged you in it.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of how that started, where the idea came up with like, hey, maybe we can make a song on the fly or whatever. I think that's the coolest fucking shit. And I'll be honest that I feel terrible making you guys stop where you were at just to be able to tell you that so that we can film that. Like, I feel bad stopping you guys.
Actually Brad's fault.
Yeah, it's all Brad. But so I guess a question, if I was to ask one, is now that we made you stop when you're right in the fucking middle of it like that, is that all that's going through your head right now? Is that and like what you want to change or do and just keep working on it, right?
Yeah.
I guess you could say that. I think that once that creative train is kind of rolling down the tracks, it's hard to derail from that. So I think that now that Brad's made us stop this,
this whole song is skywash now.
Well, I don't think it's skywash. I think sometimes like when you're in that moment, and like Aspen was saying before, it's like kind of fleeting. You got to just kind of garner that energy, that creative energy that you do have, and those juices are flowing, and just make the best of what you can at that point
in that time.
Yeah, exactly.
So then, like, I'm not a musician, so what I saw you guys do in like the hour and a half, 2 hours or whatever, like was
an hour and a half, 2 hours. Felt like about 10 minutes to me.
Right? Yeah. It was.
That's why.
Fuck, man. Like to me it just, and it happened so quick. I found that like not only am I impressed with it, it's just I don't know if you feel the same way. Like, are you thinking like, oh, there's so much more that needs to be done with that before it can be put out there? Whereas me, a fan, listening to it, and I'm like fucking ready to go rock it out in my truck throughout the city right now, dude. Like, it's perfect.
Yeah, so how much time from now will you still be spending on this song?
Yeah, I guess it depends. Like, I feel like back in the day when the Beatles were recording and you had 8-track recorders and stuff like that, sometimes less is more. Right. You have a certain window of things you can do to create.
Only so much tape.
And sometimes that limiting, like tape, like 8-track tape.
Yeah.
Like sometimes those limitations are good. Sometimes they're not good. But I mean, for us, I feel like sometimes
we try not to beat things to death.
Yeah, like
so we try to have the concept and a good idea or a plan so that we can just go from one thing to the next and kind of get over that first phase of just the idea, get it on tape, get all the parts done. And then usually right now we'd kind of work on lyrics and vocals. Yeah. Right. And then we'd kind of, chat with the other guys in the band and get their feedback.
Right. Say, this is where we're at with this. Yeah. What do you guys think?
Exactly. And this is, essentially probably a demo. So we'd re-record everything from scratch, of course, with the other guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for sure. And this would just be something we can use as kind of a template. Yeah.
To show the other band members.
Exactly.
This is the idea.
And there have been times where we keep some tracks or most tracks, sometimes zero, but that's what the demo is really good for.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one, just for this purpose, maybe we'll use this and show everyone these tracks that we have now and use those to kind of
I'm really hoping that we can close this episode with this song.
For sure.
So I don't want to put any pressure on you guys at all.
Yeah, we'll do that
next week.
Yeah, but next week when this goes up, I'm hoping it's ready to go. No, it's fucking killer, man. I love it. Yeah, definitely a fan.
I think the beauty of like just writing and recording music is like you don't really know where it's going to end up. You have an idea.
Right.
It's like a seed and it just kind of grows. And you just kind of clip that along the way and see where you know what I mean? Like, see where you can go from there, but you're never quite sure where it's going to end, or you can change it here and there and everything. But I think the main thing is to not derail too much and try to stay with the flow and that creative building that you have going. And that's important, I think.
Well, and your guys is like, for lack of a better word, dynamic, right? Like, you guys know each other well enough where you guys were just in sync. Right. I'm listening to you guys say shit back and forth to each other. I have no idea what the fuck you guys are saying.
I noticed that you you were speaking in half sentences, and he just picks up on it. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I got this. I'm like,
I think after a while, they're like, I mean, me and Aspen have been working together since 2015.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I first got on board with Skull Creek Studios and everything. So that's 6 years now or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think it becomes almost like a different language. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where you know each other so well, and you know what you're doing so well that you can just. It's literally just like sing a little thing or say a certain thing, and then the other guy just picks up on it. I know what you're talking about. Let's go back there and do this. Let's go back to the bridge.
Right, like what was that one thing you were yelling at one point? The fuzzy something on the CG. Yeah, but is that something that like every guitar player would know what you're saying, or is that just like your slang?
I feel
Or
like
a combination.
I feel like there's some other people, musicians would pick up on it.
Right.
But I think we have our little own language down here. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like you don't ever want to keep like if you have some momentum, you want to keep it going. If you're excited, you're inspired. You don't want to pump the brakes.
Yeah.
So I think that's what helps us both. Like, and I know when he's getting really into it and he's playing guitar and he's like, "Don't stop me, just let me keep going." So I have all of the tracks lined up, and I know that he's going to, in 1 minute, say, "Okay, let's start a new part," or grab you a different guitar or whatever, and it's ready to go.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just sticking with the momentum.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think maybe on that note, I think we'll just end that.
Yeah.
I seriously don't want to fucking waste your time.
Sure. Hey, it's all good.
Right on, boys.
good that
Thank
you
you
guys-
so much. I really want to do this again. I do,
absolutely,
for
we
sure.
will.
Thank you, Prehistoric.
yep.
You guys are fucking kick-ass. Thanks for pulling the plug. Never mind.
Fuck you too, buddy.
No, this is
It's
awesome.
good for you guys to come from Belleville.
Bellevue.
Bellevue.
Belleville's farther
Bellevue.
Bellevue. Yeah.
Yeah, the insane asylum.
Yeah, a little French town.
What?
Thanks for.
You never heard of that? Bellevue Insane Asylum in the States. Isn't that like outside Austin or some shit? Anyways, never mind.
I think
There's like a crazy.
You think you've
Yeah.
been there?
I've been in there.
Maybe.
Time in there. Mom, I need fresh socks. No.
Yeah, but seriously, thanks you guys. We really
you.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank
cool.
you guys very much for coming out, and thanks for picking up the tab for lunch. Appreciate it, guys.
No worries.
Yeah, you guys owe me a lunch. I wasn't there. So.
There you go. I'll bring you some. I'll bring you a case of Liquid Death too.
Thanks.
Right on. Okay.
Right on. All right, guys.
Good.
Hey, I'm Mark.
I'm Joel.
These episodes of the Sit Down Podcast are brought to you by Funky Moose Records.
Subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment below, and ring the bell because it really helps us out, you guys.
And check out funkymooserecords.ca for all your used and new records and accessories.
And merch.
Disguise, I'm seeing through it all.